Good morning, good afternoon, and maybe evening, everyone from Department for Education. I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. I'm currently facilitating this session from my home office in Sydney, Australia. It's a little overcast outside, but no matter where you're tuning in from, I hope you're taking this hour to unwind. Maybe get yourself a cup of tea. I do have my little herbal tea to soothe my throat at the moment and to learn more about cloud storage and OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be with us here. Before we do get started, I just had some call outs in the accessibility and video control options available for you today. Should you like to or require the usage of closed captioning, it has been enabled. Simply select the CC icon on the lower right hand corner of your screen and this will enable live captioning. As English is my fourth spoken language, I'll try my best to speak as clearly and articulately as possible. You might also be able to reduce the playback speed of the session if you find that we are moving through the content just a little bit too quickly for your preferences. You can actually bring us down to half speed or 0.5 if that doesn't do the trick for you. If you just want to take a quick pause or maybe you have that very important phone call that you need to pick up, you can pause and resume simply by selecting the little play pause icon on the furthest left-hand side of your screen, which is we call it the meeting control bar, and this will allow you to pause and resume to where you left off. But I would like to highlight to you that in this case, you'll no longer be viewing a 100% live session. In the interest of time, please use the Q&A function that Melissa will be monitoring throughout the training today. And if you have any question which you prefer to use the to kind of put in with us at the end of the session, we may be taking verbal questioning at the end of the session. Before we do get started, I would like to make an acknowledgement of country. I wish to pay my respect and I acknowledge the traditional custodian and land of which I'm giving you this presentation from today, the Dawa people of the Eora Nation. I wish to pay my respect and acknowledge their enduring connection to land, sea, and community. I would like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I extend this respect to all First Nation individuals joining us today and to all First Nation countries we are tuning in from. I recognize that daily I benefit from the privilege of living and working on this land that sovereignty has never been ceded. Australia always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Next, let's do some introductions. My name is Joyce and that's me on the left. I'll be taking you through the session today, but thankfully I'm not alone. I'm also accompanied by my wonderful friend and mentor, Melissa. Melissa, would you want to come off mute and say hi to everybody and let them know how they can get involved with today's training?
I'd love the opportunity, Joyce. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy day to join us for this cloud storage session. Like Joyce said, my role today is to be answering the live event Q&A field. So if you have questions, please go ahead and ask them throughout the session. There is only one of me and multiple and a lot more of you. So if you have any questions and I don't get to you straight away, please note that I am searching for answers in the back end, and at the very least, I will have addressed your question and pointed you in the direction of resources, hopefully by the end of the session. If you haven't already found the live event Q&A field, you can actually go ahead and pop that open by clicking the icon on your screen that looks like two overlapping speech bubbles with a question mark inside of it. When you pop open that panel, you're going to see at the bottom of the panel the option to ask a question, and you can send it off by clicking the paper plane icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, if you do decide to attach a display name, this display name is visible to everybody in this training room, and you may find that Joyce or myself may refer to your name on the question in order to direct an answer back to you. But if there's any concern around that particular front, you do have the option to post anonymously. It does not affect Joyce or my ability to see your question. We will still go ahead and acknowledge it just like any other question. It's just there's no name. So please, if there's any concern, pick which you prefer. If you post the question and you do not see it under the My Questions tab, have a look in the featured section to see if we've gone ahead and published it for everybody in this training room to see and revisit. And you may also see some additional resources from me throughout the next hour or so. So please don't be shy, get involved today. We'd love to hear from you, and I wish you all a wonderful training session. Back to you, Joyce.
Thank you, Melissa, for showing us how to participate in the Q&A. And just be mindful that there are many more of you compared to just myself and Melissa. We may take a little moment or two to get back to you, just what Melissa mentioned. You'll also realize that the microphone is off and the camera will not be used during this training. This is to ensure that everyone can focus on the training today. Let's go through the agenda. Today, we are looking at how to manage backups and collaborate on files with cloud storage. We'll learn to edit, share, organize, and collaborate in the Microsoft Cloud using OneDrive for Business. That is what we call it for personal cloud storage in the business world, and SharePoint Online, which is our collaborative hub for all things related to files on the internet. We'll talk about how these platforms are different from one another and the purpose of using one over the other, and how they can integrate with the daily tools like Microsoft Teams, for example. As your team share and work together on files and know that a consistent user experience is at the forefront across all Microsoft 365 applications, alongside with powerful intelligence capabilities. OneDrive is your personal view. It is designed for individual use with occasional file sharing, whereby SharePoint is designed for Teams file collaboration. Microsoft Teams has the integration with OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online. It is not a separate location, but rather brings all your cloud storage files to the place where you can collaborate with others. It is really easy to share files securely with anyone inside or outside your organization, and work together on things like documents like Word, Excel, PowerPoint in real time with Office on web, mobile PC, and even a Mac. You can apply additional sharing protection, moving files between your personal library and shared files where your teams are already working. Cloud storage in Microsoft 365 lets you optimize how you work as a team on large amounts of files. We can organize files using metadata to group, sort, and filter files, and then share those views with the team. With the explosion of data, shorter attention span, mobilizations of workforce, growing number of teams, sophisticated security threat, etc., effective content management and collaboration is more critical than ever in the modern workspace. In order to empower this, organizations need a modern content management and collaboration solution that is intelligent, secure, and integrated into the tool that they use every day. You can easily store and access individual and shared files in Microsoft 365, including those in Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, and Outlook. You can even edit what you made offline, which are automatically uploaded the next time you connect. Use your mobile devices to capture whiteboards and scan word receipts and everything onto your OneDrive. Firstly, before I jump into the live demonstration, let me introduce you to Megan Bowen. Megan Bowen is a production manager who is working for a company called Contoso. And today I'm going to use her as my demonstration account. This is not a real account, and that means no company's internal information will be shared today. So let's hop into our live demonstration. What we are seeing right now is Megan's desktop. I'm going to use the web version as a demo today. We're going to navigate to web browser, which is our office.com to start. I would like everybody to go to office.com. If you'd like to follow along today's training sessions, please go to office.com and sign in with your business credential. What you're seeing on your device will be very different from mine, as every company setup is different. If you have any questions regarding the interface or permission, please contact your IT personnel. To start, let's see how we can set up and access OneDrive for Business. In order to locate OneDrive for Business, please go to the top left-hand corner, and some call it the waffle menu. And the actual official name is called the App Launcher. I would like everybody to follow my little cursor over here and select the waffle menu or the App Launcher, and please select OneDrive. If you couldn't find OneDrive in here, it is okay. All you need to do is just go to All Apps and select OneDrive. And you can click on it. Another way is to search OneDrive under Search. And you'll be able to access OneDrive through here. Now, I hope everyone are already on the same page as me, which is your official OneDrive page. Let's go to the top left-hand side of the screen over here. And you can see that I'm logged in as Megan Bowen today, as mentioned before. And my files, what is my files? My files is the list of files in our OneDrive account. Recent is actually, as for recent is a list of our most recent access document. It can be in a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. If you just want to show just Words document, you can just select Word, and you can actually select All over here. And also, when we look at shared, it allows us to manage what files we have shared with others or files that has been shared with us. That means this particular file has been shared by Adele. Okay, and this one has been shared by Alex, Irvin. This is how, this is where you can find who has actually shared with you. You can actually share it, you can arrange it by A to Z or Z to A, or you can actually select group shared by a specific person. But if you don't want that, you can actually go back to A to Z. Last but not the least, on the top left-hand side, we have something called Recycle Bin. Our deleted files will be in there till permanently removed. We do have 93 days of retention policy. It depends on each company. It could be 30, 90, or 60 days. Please check with your company's representative. Excuse me. And after the 93 days, Microsoft will give you another 93 days. We call it the second stage recycle bin. You may ask, so where can I find it? All you need to do is just go to the end of the screen, and there's something called the second stage recycle bin. And Microsoft is going to give you this particular recycle bin for another 93 days. That means you have the initial stage of 93 plus another 93 days. You have a total of about 6 months. Let's go back to our My Files again. We can customize how this little interface will look like. If you go to the top over here, it says name. You can actually sort out the name from A to Z or Z to A. Or you can actually arrange it by older to newer or newer to older, or you can actually filter by specific date over here. And you can even search by whoever had just modified the documents. It can be maybe just by Megan only, and you can only see Megan's modified documents over here. So you may ask, hey, I want to go back to everyone. So how can I do it? All you need to do is just clear all and then apply, and everybody's will be here. All the documents that modified by everyone will be shown here. As for the file size, you can arrange from smaller to larger or larger to smaller. Another thing I want to highlight is that there's something over here that says sharing. Okay, anything that's indicated as private over here, no one else can see it except yourself or except Megan Bowen. And if it's being said that it's being shared, that means this particular document has been shared with someone. So be very diligent, be very, very careful before you start deleting or make changes to the document itself. I would like everybody to focus your attention on the top left-hand side of the screen again and go to My Files again. After you have gone through the top part, there's something called Quick Access at the lower third of the screen. We have got all the teams and channels over here. And on the right-hand side, we have something called Sort. We can sort everything through type, name, modify, or modified by, and you realize that it's exactly the same as the ones over here. I normally sort them according to the name. And over here, we do have something called the view, the different kinds of tile views or list views over here. If you would prefer the list view, it has got bigger, I would call it gap in between the files or the folders, but my preference is actually compact list because it will have kind of like put everything slightly tighter to each other. The gap between both folders and files are smaller. But another way of looking at it, it is called the tile view. If you were to kind of hover your mouse on top of the tile of the photographs, it can actually let you see the details. You can actually see who has access to these particular photographs and who has actually made any changes or made any comment on it. And you can also know what is the file type and also when it was modified and the file path. If you go to the eye over here, you can also go get the information about the photograph itself. I prefer the compact list. Let's stick to compact list. On the top right-hand corner again, we have got this little profile picture because today I'm logging as Megan Bowen, but for you, it will be your photographs. If you move a little bit of an anti-clockwise, we have got this little help icon over here. This will be your good friend if you kind of like still very new to this particular interface. This is your good friend as in it has got hopefully all the help that you could get if you want to find out, like, for example, how to create a folder. It will actually populate in here if you type it here. Next, we are going to look at the setting. You can choose different theme for your interface, or I like this little colorful theme for today. And you can even change the display language through here, or you can actually change the display mode. I personally prefer the dark mode, but of course, due to the training today, I want to make sure today's training is accessible to everyone. I'm going to select the light mode, but it's your own preferences. And I would like you to focus, to adjust your focus to the top of the screen again. There's something called OneDrive setting. I want you to select it. And over here, you can manage your notifications. You can toggle all this on or off according to your preferences. Another thing I would like to highlight, if you select more settings, you can actually manage your access, region, and language. And one thing I would like to call out, which is the storage matrix. Over here, we can actually see the storage space that's been taken up by particular documents or folders. And you can even find out how much space you have on the top right-hand corner. Of course, everyone's storage space will be very different, but this is how you can manage your own storage space. Well, we have gone through so much about the interface. Let's see how we can navigate around here. Let's look at how to upload a file. If you go to the top of the screen, there's something called upload. You can upload a file or a folder. Today, I'm going to show you how to upload a file. After that, your little your Explorer will actually populate. And the first one, maybe I'll go for, you can choose any documents from your Explorer. And I'm going to upload it. You see that on the top right-hand side, it says that it's uploading one item. And hey, it will actually populate on the very first item of the list. But if you start refreshing the page, because I arranged them in chronological order from A to Z, it will actually populate here, which is what we can see here. This is the report that I just uploaded. Another way to upload a document is via your File Explorer. All you need to do is just go to the file itself and then select the document and drop it. And you'll realize that it will actually populate at the top again. It's called Contoso Purchasing Data. Once you refresh the page, and it will be arranged in chronological order again. It will be here. So we have kind of like uploaded two files. And we want to manage the file because it's like, what if we have got a lot more files over here and we want to make sure that all the information are gathered at one place? What we could do, we could actually create new folder. Okay, let me repeat again. You go to the top of the screen, there's something called New. I would like everybody to follow me. Please go to New. Okay, I hope everyone are on the same page as me. Okay, please follow me and go to New and select Folder. And you have to name your folder. I'm going to name it as New Product Launched. So you may have a new product that will be coming up. We need more information about what this is about. There are a few ways to add files into here. You can select the particular document, drag and drop it in. Another way is to what we did just now. We just upload the file and then we choose the file and we kind of like upload it directly into the folder itself. Okay, I hope everybody is following me. I hope you have at least created a folder and you have at least uploaded one file. Okay, all right, so what does this mean? There's also a mobile application. You can access the file by using your cellular connection. And let me give you an example. If Megan were to rush out of home one morning and she forgot to bring her Surface or her laptop, okay, whichever you are using, to make matter worse, her manager Max texts her saying that, hey, Megan, I would like to make some changes to slide number 3 and 4 and add these changes to some of the fonts, color, and things like that. Fear not, because she has actually uploaded the file despite she didn't bring her Surface. She can actually access this via her mobile app. And then while on her way to the office, she can make all the changes that Max required and can even present it via her mobile phone. Another great example would be like if Megan is currently constantly on the move in a client's meeting, as long as she has access to the web, she can edit this file, no longer need to depend on a physical piece of hardware. Next, let us look at how collaboration works in within the OneDrive. If I were to select this particular document, you see that there is this little icon over here with a little L shape with an arrow pointing to the right. This is a visual indicator that this is going to show you how we can share the file and how much restrictions you want to add to this file. We can send the file and share with specific people by utilizing the cloud. We can also control what they can do with that file based on individuals' level. What do I mean by that? When we talk about anyone with the link, okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. So when we talk at anyone with the link, we can actually give access to anyone to receive this link. Most of the organization will have this turned off. Why? Because in case I accidentally send this particular link to anyone outside the company, they can actually open it up and access it. It is a bit no-no to company's privacy. So generally, company will have this disabled. Okay, the next one is people in control. So with the link, maybe people in Department of Education with the link. What does it mean? It means that it gives access to anyone in your organization to use it. And people with existing access, which is what it is like used by people who already have access to the document or folder. And the next one I want to highlight is specific people. It provides access only to the people that you specify for sensitive document. They'll receive their email notification and they have to authenticate themselves. Unless they verify as they are the intended recipient, they can't access it. Mainly used for external clients. Okay. And further down, we have something called other settings. If you want this person to be able to edit the document, you can choose can edit. Or you will want the person to kind of like, yeah, but suggest things. So the person can only suggest some kind of edit. You can also review, or the person can only view it and cannot edit. You can actually say just select can view. So at the moment, I'm going to share this with my lovely colleague, Diego. And just to let you know, Diego is actually Melissa at the back end, and Melissa or Diego just need to go to his Outlook and check the document which I'm going to share with him. You can type in a message over here saying that please collaborate with me now. Okay, if I could spell it. Okay, and an email will be populated in Diego's email, and then he will have to click into the document in order to collaborate with me. Another way to share it is via the copy link. Over here, I just need to select copy, and I can also determine whether he can edit or he can just review over here. Right now, I want Diego to be able to edit, and I'm going to copy this. So what I'm going to do with this link, I can actually share it to my teams with Diego's chat. Okay, I'll just wait for it to populate. And if I have got a chat with Diego, I will actually share this link and then I can type in something, but due to time constraint, I'm just going to share it. This is how you can share it within Teams. So it is very much integrated, okay? So all Diego need to do is just need to click open this particular document, and we are going to open it and collaborate. So how do I collaborate? I can actually, I have got Diego already logged in. How do I know that? I have got Diego's photo over here, and then he has this document open as indicated by this little icon. So Diego can actually highlight, make changes with me in real time. Maybe I'll assign a little task to my lovely Diego over here. I'm going to assign tasks by selecting new comment. I'm going to add mention Diego, and I say highlight the title in yellow. Okay, of course, you'll be a lot more courteous than I am, but due to time constraint, I'm just going to put that. And this particular task has been assigned to Diego. And you can literally see that you can actually see that he will be adjusting this to yellow. Let me refresh this. I think that's a little bit. Okay. And after assigning this particular thing to him, you see that there's a little speech bubble over here. So that's like a visual indication that there is a task being assigned to Diego. Okay, not too sure what happened to this. Okay, so it has been highlighted. No worries, we'll follow up now. And then Diego has already, so you see that he has acknowledged that he has read this particular task and he's on it right now. So if he has finished doing it right now, he has actually changed it to yellow. And I would like everybody to focus your attention on this little speech bubble over here, because Megan is going to resolve the task. This is how you can monitor the task. And you see that there's a little tick in green color. That is the visual indication that this has been resolved and this thing has been followed up. This is how you can do a quick collaboration. All right, right now we have a little time. Let me show a quick collaboration with everyone. And let me copy the link. I'm going to share this particular link in the chat. This is what I would like everybody to do. I want everyone to collaborate with me on a document. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do the collaboration, and I'm going to show you what we are going to do. I'm going to let me know what is your favorite pastime. I have got some favorite pastimes over here, but of course yours will be very different from mine. So you can feel free to continue to add your favorite pastime here. And after that, if you like window shopping like I do, I want you to put a number 1 over here. Okay, I want you to put 1 over here. But if you see that there is someone already put number 1, then you just add 1 more because you also like window shopping, and then just put 2, okay? I want everybody to collaborate with me. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping in. I'm going to get everyone to put in your favorite pastime. And also, if you agree that window shopping is something that you love, which I do, and just put 1 next to it. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen next if I were going to put 1. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go through this particular collaboration. Thank you, everyone. thank you everyone. It is so amazing to see the whole pie chart populated. And thanks everybody for your live collaboration. I do really appreciate that. At least you kind of have a feel of how live collaboration is. With that, I've come to the middle of the live demonstration and I would like to hand the session to Melissa. Is there anything that you would like to call out? Thank you everyone.
Hi, Joyce. We've had a number of questions from our attendees, and I've been doing my best to answer them as I go. So thank you if you've had a question or a comment. It's great to see everyone still playing around with it on the screen. I do want to point out that when you are trying to reach and collaborate externally, you're going to be using that permission that Joyce mentioned earlier, where you nominate specific people. So if your organization has not allowed you the anyone with access option, you're going to be using these specific people and nominating specific options in order to collaborate externally from your OneDrive. In some cases, SharePoint may not even allow external access. This will be dependent on your settings within your organization. You may have a specific type of SharePoint that may be needed before you can collaborate and share documents externally to achieve something like what Joyce has started for us here. So just a reminder, if you want to share externally, generally the OneDrive is going to be how you do it, unless you have other specific policies within your organization and within the Department of Education. But that's all for me. I'll throw back to you, Joyce.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you again everybody for enthusiasm and trying to find out more how to collaborate on your OneDrive. OneDrive captured the version history, like what we have done right now. Whatever additional information that we add into this particular document of what is your favorite pastime will be documented as a version history whenever you make any changes. Okay, let's hop into the OneDrive again. Sorry, everyone. I have to hop into the OneDrive and continue with the session. Maybe we feel that we may need to roll back to an older version of the document. Okay, so all you need to do is just go to this little ellipsis over here. And there's something called version history. Okay, sorry, everyone. Please focus back to the screen on version history. After you've done that, hey, I've got so many changes, but all you need to do is just select the ellipses here. You can select restore, open file, or delete version. Okay, this is one of the many options. My favorite way of doing it is to go back to the actual document again. Let me open up this financial report. Okay, I go to the top left-hand side. I go to file. I go to information. I go to version history. This is my preferred way of doing because I'm a visual person. I would like to see what exactly has been changed. What exactly has been changed by Megan? What has been changed by Diego? And you can see that they are all color-coded. If Diego were to say, hey, I made that modification on that particular document, which I do not like it, do you know where it is? So I know that, hey, Diego has deleted this light mode over here. You know, so this is how I can actually capture it and roll back to the previous one. And this is a document that he doesn't like, so we'll just remove it. And I want to highlight is that only this particular version will be deleted or restored. The original one will not be affected. Let's look at how to manage the privacy information behind our files. If you are the file owner, you can actually stop sharing the file or the folder. If someone has been given direct access, like what I did with all of you just now, I actually given you a direct access to the pastime document. Or if you have access to specific people's link, you can also change the sharing permission between view and edit. So how can we do it? I actually remember we shared a file with Diego. So what if the project is over and I would like to revoke Diego's access to the file? So what if I want to revoke the access to everyone's to that particular pastime file? All you need to do is just go to the right-hand side. There's a little three little dots. And I would like everybody to focus your attention on manage access. Okay, I want everybody to follow me and please select manage access. Okay, there are a few ways to manage the access. If you want one more person saying that you may think that Lee should actually access this document. Oops, sorry. everyone. Type too fast. Okay, if you think legal, because he's our director, he should have all the rights to open up this particular document, I'll grant him the access. So this is the way to grant it or to manage it. Another way is, in case you think that, hey, Lee he just need to view it, he doesn't really need to edit it because he's a director, he doesn't have time to, make it crazy changes to it. So you can actually say can only view, cannot make changes, or you can literally right now, you can stop sharing with me. Another way you could manage the access is to select the link that you shared, and you can actually set an expiration date to it, because meaning that this particular link, like the link that I shared with you just now, will expire on October the 13th, 2022. That also means anyone that trying to access it on after October 13 will not be able to access it. Okay, or you can literally remove the link over here, just click the cross over here. And me, I'm just being lazy. I'm just going to go to here and I'm going to select this particular thing called stop sharing. Okay, everybody, thank you everyone for your participation, but I have to stop sharing that particular link. So you realize that from shared, okay, I'm going to refresh this particular page. You realize that, hey, it has been changed to private. So no one else will be able to access that link from now on. Okay, if you have any questions with how managed access will be, please put it in the Q&A. So there are two things to highlight in regards to managing of access. All changes made by Diego or made by everyone over here will not be lost. They will all still be there. Okay? Or another way to manage access is to go to the right hand side of the screen and you can stop sharing over here. Okay, when you delete a file from your OneDrive, there are a few steps that I want you to prevent yourself from accidentally deleting someone else's file. Make sure you double check whether the file is under shared. Okay, so make sure that you kind of like double check on that one first. So if it has been shared, for example, with Diego, so all you need to do is inform Diego that, hey, can you please download the file because it's taking up so much space on my OneDrive and on my computer or whatsoever. Please make sure you download it so you can continue working on it. Always double check who has the access to the file, prompt them to download, in other words. But what if you need the file back after you have deleted it? Meaning, I'm going to delete this file, this picture over here, broken pipe. So you would automatically go into my recycle bin, which you are going to see over here. You can actually select it and further delete it. You say that you may ask, hey, I thought I already deleted this file, this picture, but remember it will, after 93 days, it will go to the second stage recycle bin and you'll stay there for 6 months. You may not want that to happen. So all you need to do is permanently deleting this. Or you can actually restore it. What if like Lee saying that, hey, Megan, you shouldn't be deleting this picture. It is important. I'm going to use it as a launch photo for my next product launch. So you have to restore it. Okay, this is how it works. Now let's look at how to add your OneDrive to your desktop suite. OneDrive users that are running Windows can sync a copy of their OneDrive account to their computer. In other words, with OneDrive, you can sync files between your computer and the cloud. So you can get to them anywhere, everywhere. It is a great way to complete so-called the full cycle. Once you're synced, you'll see your file in the File Explorer, and on the Mac, your files will appear under OneDrive in the Mac Finder. So how can we sync? I want everybody to select My Files on the top left-hand side, and there's something, the third icon on the left that says Sync. Okay, if you feel comfortable, you can actually select this particular thing called Sync. You will automatically sync your files. Why do you want to sync file to your files to OneDrive? OneDrive enables you to synchronize your content and your PC and Mac. Okay, with more files, it will take up more space. As you create and collaborate with more files or taking more photographs, you may worry that whether there's enough storage on your devices. You shouldn't have to because OneDrive has your back. OneDrive Files on Demand on PC and Mac helps you to access all your files in OneDrive without having to download all of them. And we can also see that OneDrive as the file app for Microsoft 365 enables you to access all your shared contents across M365, inclusive of SharePoint and Microsoft Teams. And in addition to your individual work files, OneDrive actually enables you to sync the files and folders from shared libraries that you have access to within your organization and can harness a secured productivity experience across OneDrive and SharePoint. And if you are looking at my files over here, and if you were to select a document, you'll realize that this particular interface, there's another thing, although I forgot to highlight to everyone, you see that there's actually share, copy link, download. If you select this particular three dots, you can actually have the same way of managing this file. So it depends on how you want to manage them. Okay. Another thing I would like to highlight to everyone is we talked about managing of your workspace. How can we do it? All you need to do after syncing your OneDrive, let's go to your Explorer. If you find that your computer is running out of space, you could free up space by sending the file to the cloud by selecting free up space. For example, I have got this particular file that says console purchasing data. Okay, I can just right click on this particular file and it does give me a little option over here that says, that says free up space. Okay, free up space over here. So all I need to do is just select free up space. Stop. Wait a second, everyone. With that, I'll check in with you, Melissa, if there's anything that you have caught while I try to fix this Zoom It situation.
No worries. Zoom It is a bit of a temperamental tool. We did have a call out from one of your ICTS specialists in the audience today. They have asked us to let you know that if you do need to share with external users, you can request this via an EDIT ticket because it has been disabled by default. So if you have a use case or a business need for that, please leverage that. You'll see that comment in the featured section, along with some of the other articles that I've posted so far. So if you haven't already looked in the featured section, go ahead and do so. Today's session is being recorded for your benefit, and you'll actually have access to everything here in this training room, not only the recording that you'll have the option to play back, but all the additional resources in the featured section that you currently see. So please go ahead and leverage those. Like I said, you'll have that for the next 6 months or 180 days. To access this, all you have to do is use the link you used to join today's live session, and you'll be able to return here after 24 hours once it has uploaded and converted. Looks like double checking with you, Joyce. Do we need a little bit more time, or are you up and running? I can see there's some demonstration.
Yeah, that's live demonstration, to be very fair.
Yeah.
I'm trying to load this on. Thank you everyone for your patience.
You know, it's live when things like this happen. So once again, we're going to try to field some questions.
All right.
Cool. Beautiful. Looks like you're back. If you are having any issues raising a ticket and requesting it, please reach out to your IT department so that they can help you. There may be some technical requirements or something required before you can go ahead and do it. For the anonymous attendee saying that there seems to be an issue with you being able to do that. So that's it. You look like we're up and running again. I'll throw back to you, Joyce.
Thank you, Melissa, and for your help and posting all those amazing links in the Q&A. And thank you, everyone, for posting all the questions and your enthusiasm to find out more about cloud storage. And all right, we are back in business. Okay, let me repeat what I spoke just now. It's like right-click. And if you can choose free up space, you could, and you realize that this little icon, which was a green circle, has been changed into I'm not going to use Zoom anymore, which is going to turn into a cloud icon. If you want to find out more about what does the individual icon means, I'll get Melissa to actually post it in the Q&A. So very briefly, I'll talk about the icon. The blue cloud means that means this thing has been cloud up into the cloud. It means that the file is only available online. That means In other words, if there's no internet data, you'll not be able to access it. In other words, if Megan wants to show the sales proposal to her CEO, she knows that if the internet is down in that particular meeting room, she can actually download the file before her meeting so she can continue to present it. So all she needs to do is just always keep on this device, and you see that the little cloud has been changed into the green icon. I'll get Melissa to actually post in the chat to explain what exactly OneDrive icon means. Next, let's look at what are the ways that OneDrive integrate with Teams. If you go to your desktop Teams, okay, great. Okay, I have to restore this. Remember just now when we actually everything's been restored. Just give me a few more seconds, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Remember, we actually shared this particular file with Diego. If you want to select this paperclip icon and select OneDrive, remember just now we created a folder called New Product Launch, and these are the two documents, and one of it we actually collaborated. That's to let you know that always remember OneDrive is constantly working behind the scene, updating all the changes, and so the next time you open your OneDrive, you'll be the most updated documents. And within the Teams itself, if you go to the left-hand rail over here, there's something called files. Okay, I do not know why my files, my Teams on my desktop is not responding. Okay, it's all right. It will come back up. Cool, it is back up. Cool. If you go to the left-hand side of your screen, the left-hand rail, there's something called file. Okay. Recent is in here. We have all the files that you have recently viewed or edited. And we learn to look at the Microsoft Teams over here. It contains all the documents that are recently created or edited in the channel that will appear in here. As for the download, it means that typical like any files that you downloaded from your Teams itself, it will actually be shown here. Another thing I want you to focus is actually this particular thing called OneDrive. It actually shows the cloud storage service that you have connected to the Teams, and from here you can delete or add on files into here and create new files. Files added to the cloud storage are private until you actually share them. And there's also something called Microsoft Teams and chat files. And these are all the files that we shared during the chat itself. So you actually shared a document with Diego, it will actually appear in here too. Okay. Another thing I want to share with everyone is that we share files in Teams, and we can actually share a copy of the file that is being uploaded to a channel. If you actually go to your Teams, if you go to any of your Teams channel, okay, go to the top, there's something called files. Do you know that you can actually open files in your Teams in SharePoint? This is how you do it. Just select the ellipses and please select open in SharePoint. This is how you can open it. Talking about SharePoint, let's very quickly, we are going to touch on SharePoint. SharePoint and OneDrive are actually very similar. However, SharePoint has a few more features that's meant for broader collaboration. You can access SharePoint or Teams from its own interface. If you go to your office.com, we'll go via the app launcher again, and please select SharePoint. SharePoint Online is the foundation service in Microsoft 365 that powers content and collaboration across the suite. If you're going to select one of the teams, okay, right now we are actually opening up this project Mark 8. It has got its own integration, its own layout, and SharePoint is very, very heavily customized by your company. So over here, you can add a task, tick off a task. You can even look at what are the milestones of this particular project of Contoso, who actually is the manufacturer of drones that you can see. They got different versions of drones over here in different angles, and also what are the upcoming events or meetings. And we do have the Power Platform being integrated within this particular page itself. I would like everybody to focus your attention to the left-hand side of the rail, please, and go to Document. Please select Document. And I want everybody to focus your attention to all these folders over here. And right now, I'm going to compare the Teams folder, the Teams channel, pardon me. You see that you have got Design Digital Web Asset General, Design Digital Web Asset General. So they are exactly the same. Okay? We see that the same features to OneDrive where we can create. But right now, over here in the SharePoint itself, on the top right-hand side, any changes you're doing is going to affect 19 other people within the SharePoint itself. Excuse me. At the top over here, we have got something called Sync. Remember we spoke about Sync in OneDrive? You can also see Sync icon in the SharePoint. Inside our SharePoint, we have a similar Sync feature just like the OneDrive, but it is called Add Shortcut to OneDrive. We are going to select maybe a folder. Maybe I'll select this design folder. Okay, there are two ways to add it. You can go to the ellipses and there's this option that says Add Shortcut to OneDrive, or you can go up to the top and there's another option over here that's the same thing, also called Add Shortcuts to OneDrive. I'm going to add this particular shortcut to OneDrive. Okay, so what's the difference between syncing and adding of shortcut? In reality, you may not access all the folders in your SharePoint. Okay, you may only, because you are from the design team, you may not need to go to like a market plan or marketing or sales whatsoever. You just need to focus on the design of the drone, right? So you just need to focus on these particular documents within the design team channels. So simply adding a shortcut to OneDrive is like you deciding which folder you want to access frequently, and you kind of like bookmark it into your OneDrive. I know bookmark may not be the official name, but you kind of like know what I'm trying to say. So all the documents within this folder of design will be in shared as a added as a shortcut. What do I mean? If you go to your OneDrive, okay, oops. You can see that the design, let me refresh it. Okay, it may take some time to populate. Okay, so it will look something like this particular little icon over here. It has got this little lock screen. So that is the indicator that this indication that this is a shortcut from your SharePoint that's nesting within your OneDrive itself. As we also spoke about version history in OneDrive. Inside your SharePoint, we also have this beautiful feature. Okay, let me go into your SharePoint again. And maybe I'm going to look at, let me choose one document. Go to the ellipses, and of course, look for version history. And if you were to select this little arrow down over here, you can actually make sure that you can either view this particular document, you can restore it, or you can delete it. And something that I would like to highlight to everyone again, this is just deleting of this version only. It is not. It is not deleting the whole file. Last but not the least, there's something I would like to call out to everyone. It's like you may ask this particular question. So, should I share files to OneDrive or to SharePoint? If you're working on a file by yourself, save it to OneDrive. Your OneDrive files are private unless you share them with others, which is particularly useful if you haven't created a team yet. But if you're already working as a team in a Microsoft team, SharePoint or Outlook, etc., you should save your file where your team works, because OneDrive for Work connects you to all your shared libraries too. With that, we have come to the end of our live demonstration. Let me do a very quick recap. Today we learned about cloud storage in Microsoft 365. We also learned that OneDrive we also have a kind of dive quite deep into what is OneDrive for business. And we kind of briefly touch on SharePoints Online. If you're still a little concerned about moving your workflow to the cloud, I would suggest everyone to start small. Maybe the non-critical file first. and then the documents that you do not use it every single day. As you grow a lot more comfortable and confident with the whole interface, you can start utilizing the whole features a lot more. Before I continue, I would like to check in with you, Melissa, again. Is there anything that you would like to call out? Or anyone that has any questions that you would like to ask?
No questions at this point in time. Once again, a few more links have been added to the featured section. At the end of the day, the only thing I would really want to call out in regards to SharePoint is SharePoint is a shared space. It is your organization cloud storage. Anything that we move or manipulate file-wise in that space is going to have shared consequences and implications to that space. So if we do things like renaming the file, move it, or delete it, it's going to be done so for everybody, and it will affect everybody. So if you are going to be manipulating or changing files, go ahead and reach out in your communication channels. Make sure everybody is okay with that, even if you're just tidying it up for auditing purposes, because the last thing you want to do is delete a file that somebody needs and it is critical to their work. But that's all for me. I'll throw back to you, Joyce, to wrap us up.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you everyone for your questions. Before we wrap up today's session, we also would like to hear your feedback, comments, or any tips that you want to improve our sessions. Simply go to the survey, aka.ms/cloud1110, which is 11th of October, today's date and month. I'll get Melissa to post it on the chat. It's a 6-question survey. It shouldn't take more than 30 seconds, and it is completely anonymous. I'll appreciate if everybody would give us some feedback by using your mobile phone to scan the QR code. I'd like to remind everyone that the session is being recorded as mentioned by Melissa, and on-demand recording of this session can be accessed by using the same link that you used to join. Please allow up to 24 hours for the recording to be uploaded and for the link to be converted. It will be available on demand for the next 6 months. Due to the live event nature, you will be able to access the live event Q&A and with all the amazing helpful links that Melissa has been sharing with everybody. Okay, if you have any questions in regards to your company's policy and your permissions, please contact your IT and account manager. With that, I would like to thank everyone from Department of Education for joining us today. I'd like to thank Melissa, who has been supporting the live Q&A by answering the question and posting the amazing links. I hope you have learned something new today and that you will implement and share your knowledge with your colleagues to make day-to-day work a lot easier. I'd like to wish everyone a beautiful day wherever you're joining in from. I really hope to train you again soon. Please take care and keep warm still, and bye-bye for now.